Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seminar Talk with the Expert. Today, we will discuss a crucial topic for all athletes unintentional doping, how to keep clean in sport. The seminars are created to support athletes, coaches, parents, and all athlete support personnel. I'm Juliana Soares, anti doping manager. It's my honor to have here today talking with us an incredible guest, Dr. Thais Cevada. She has a long list for her CV. So, WADA Social Research Sciences Social. So, God, WADA Social Science Research Expert Advisor Group, ITA Educator Ambassador, and IDCO, IWF Anti Doping Commission, Neuroscience of Sport PhD, and a former athlete. I saw her picture. She was incredible athlete. Thanks, Thais, for coming here and talk with us.
Thank you, Juliana. I'm very happy for this invite and honorable position to be here speaking with you, mainly about unintentional doping. That's a very, very interesting and important topic for all of us.
Oh, thanks, Thais. Thanks for accepting our invitation. So let's start. As you know, doping is a challenge in sport, affecting not only the integrity of the competition, but also the health of every athlete. The seminar aims to raise awareness about clean sport and explain to the athletes how to avoid unintentional doping. Because sometimes we don't know that something can be dangerous for us or may take amputation risk of doping rule violations, as you know. Thanks, Thais, again. I would like to start the questions because I'm very anxious to listen from you. The first question is, could you explain to us what's an intentional doping? Because it's very unclear for many of our athletes, but what's an intentional doping?
The literature today, they don't have exactly a concept for it, but in the simple words, I would say when you break an anti-doping rule violation accidentally, I mean, when you not intended to do something wrong, but in the end of the day, you had a sanction related to it. So if you're speaking about anti-doping rule violations, we have 11 types of it. And the most known one is to use of prohibited substance. So if you use something that you didn't know that was prohibited, and the end of the day, you have a sanction related to it, you can say that you have unintentional doping because you didn't intend to touch. You didn't intend to have this violation. You didn't to enhance your performance by your deliberated intention. So if you're not intended to break a rule, we can say that's unintentional doping. But as I told you, we have 11 types of breaking the rules or anti-doping rule violations, ADRVs. And having the use of prohibited substances is just only one violation. And from the others, I would say the majority of them is behavior. And there are behaviors that not only the athletes can perform, but also the athlete support personnel. So being aware in which what are these rules and what WADA code states to us and how we should behave and perform and what we cannot use or do, it's very important to be on the track to clean sport. And that's why it's so difficult for us to nowadays to keep our track and keep our sport clean because it's a complex field, it's a complex system, and as much as we can learn about it, safer we can be.
No, you're really right. We have so many athletes that are lack of knowledge sometimes. I think this is the most danger part of this because they don't know exactly the rules, or if they know the rules but they don't know how to work the rules. So as you used as an example, use of prohibited substance, it's the most common. But we have athletes on our RTP or whereabouts, they just don't put information because they think that it's not necessary. But this can be a
But it's mandatory, and when it's mandatory, there are consequences. So
exactly.
understand what it is, and second, understand how to perform, what to expect for the athletes. It's crucial for not having an unintentional doping as an outcome.
Yeah, we have a list of rights and duties for athletes. So, guys, please go there and double check the list. What's your duties? One of them is to learn about anti-doping, to avoid an intentional doping.
So, summarizing what's unintentional doping is when you break a rule accidentally. So, as much as we're aware of the rules, better for us to keep safe.
Pay attention to the tip, guys. And second question, how is an intentional dope a threat to me as an athlete?
So, we are saying that the system is complex. So, if you understand the basics, we have the information and understand how to perform, we can keep safe. But again, a headache pill, a flu medicine, a cream that you can use in your body, that everybody in our family and friends and daily routines they can use, sometimes an athlete cannot because they might have a prohibited substance. And it's a threat because simple things that we do in our daily living can dealing can consequently giving us a ban from sport. And why is this a threat? Because we have special circumstances as an athlete. And one of them is to taking care of our health and our career with a double check. So we cannot just taking things because everybody else take because we are athletes. So understand how to check even basic things before using. It's very important. And also you can go to your NADO or your medical doctor or your athlete support personnel as much as they have clean sport education for supporting you to double check things. And how is this a threat for me? Because I cannot be just relying on them, not double checking because it's my responsibility to know what to use. And of course, it's very important to have their support, but being responsible and understand how to check yourself, it's crucial for you not having the consequence that you don't wish to. And how is this a threat to me? Because sometimes we don't understand the whole thing, but as much as we understand, better we can navigate in the system. And as I told you, just a simple headache pill, they might have a prohibited substance. And one thing that can be just a trap is just trying to memorize things that you can do or cannot do. Because sometimes the medicines, they can have a very similar name as, I don't know, a flu medicine, coristin, and then coristin D. But the ingredients inside, they are different. And what's important to be minutious about every ingredient when you're talking about medicine. But also supplements. Sometimes they put names there, they're not exactly the name that we can find in the list. And that's really tricky for us. And sometimes, even if the label being everything there, inside is not exactly the same thing. That's a risk of taking supplements. But in the end of the day, the code that we all, when you're competing and you're in the sportive environment, we are subjected to, they say it's your fully responsibility for everything you take. And it's your fully responsibility to be aware and to be following the rules. Then doesn't matter in the end of the day it was an accident or not, if it was deliberated or not, is your responsibility. And that's why it's a threat. It's a risk for us to navigate in the system because in the end of the day, it's the athlete itself responsibility. And as much as we can learn, as much as we can perform how to check medicines, how to take care with the risk of supplements, what are the other anti-doping rule violations that I should not behave, we can be safe. And still, sometimes we can try to, Juliana, to do the right things by maybe I go to Chat GPT or to another AI to check if I can use something because I want to do a clean athlete. But these are not the safe tools for checking. And having the right people helping you, going to the right tools, searching for the right ways to do things, to perform, is the only way to keep yourself clean. So if you want to check medications or the ingredients of some supplements, you can go to Global Draw. That's a safe tool. The gold standard is to go to the list, Control C, Control V. But if you have any doubts, any questions, go to your NADO, go to the IF, ask them, ask it to a doctor or a pharmaceutic with clean sport education certified by WADA, by Adele. We can all have some extra learning, very important learning, searching for this kind of webinars or courses, and WADA can provide you an e-learning course for free in the majority of the language. And if you are an athlete for national level, international level, if you are a parent, if you're a medical doctor, different rules in sport for providing you the knowledge and the skills that you must have to not follow in the traps of this path that's complex and difficult to navigate.
Yeah, yeah. I must agree with you that this subject it's very complex, and especially for some types of athletes that they don't have knowledge, or they cannot request someone. And my tip it's always, when you go to a doctor, remind the doctor that you are athlete, because the doctor doesn't know if you're athlete or not. So they are going to prescribe any substance, like you said, anyone can take this, but you can't because you're an athlete. So talk with your doctor, explain, I'm an athlete and I pass for anti-doping controls. So I must to avoid any prohibited substance. If you don't know, here's the global draw or here's the list. So explain to our doctor, because the doctor is going to help and they are going to understand the substance, because the names of the substance are also very hard for us to understand.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk further about the role of the athlete support personnel, but it's very important to us to understand the basics, because if the doctor gives it to you something, it's the athlete responsibility to say, first, I'm under the WADA rules. I cannot take everything. And if the doctor even gives to you something that's with prohibited substance, if you have the minimum of knowledge, you can come back to them and say, like, please, doctor, I
I
cannot
can.
take this. And if you think that there is no other medicine that I can take for my health, please help me to submit for TUE. But if you don't have this basic knowledge, you might take the prohibited substance thinking that just the doctor giving to you something, it's already enough. And it's not enough, because you are an athlete and you have a special circumstance, and you must to understand how to navigate, keep yourself in a safe environment for your health, keep yourself safe and health, but also keep your career clean and with a longevity that we really want you to have health and happy path.
Yeah, we want the best career for our athletes. Thanks. Another question is, how should I behave or to keep myself clean and avoid unintentional doping? Maybe we had already talked about this a little bit, like talk with your doctor and explain to your dog, you're an athlete, go to Global Draw. But can you tell a little bit more about how our athletes can avoid unintentional doping and keep them clean?
Okay, we need to perform tasks related to clean sport. I mean, if you're going to compete, I don't know which sport you can compete. I don't know, maybe team sports. You needed to pass the ball for your colleague. You learn how to pass the ball. You have educatives, small piece of movements you must to learn and practice. You must, together with your coach and your team, understand the strategy of your team. Maybe thinking about the strategy of the other team, maybe understand better the rules you're subjected to make score the points. Then in the end of the day, you win the competition. All of these are movements and learnings you have throughout your career to win competitions and to keep going further and further and further. To clean sports, it's the same. First, You must to understand what's expected to us. It's expected to me as an athlete to check every medication before I take. It's expected to me as an athlete to take care about the risk of taking supplements. It's expected to me to, as an athlete, go for a doping control test and provide a valid sample when it's required. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where, I should go. Because if I don't go, it can be considered evading test. An evading test is an anti-doping rule violation. But that is why you explaining this to me. Because I can talk to the DCO, maybe I have a flight to catch. I need to go to the airport. I cannot perform my test. I show you my flight
Ticket.
tickets. But the DCO say, you must go for testing. But I have a valid reason to go. In the DCO, I say, this is not a valid reason. He's giving you information and he's going further. If you don't perform your tests, this is evading. This is the DCO providing you the information you need. But sometimes maybe they don't provide you and you just go to the airport and thinking, I
That
could
it's
go to the
okay.
airport because I have the flight ticket. You might be subjected to an anti-doping rule violation because you performed, you behaved wrong. So understanding what's expected to you to perform as skills and to be inside of the rules, it's very important. Supplements is another topic that's very important for us to understand. There are today some platforms online that you can check if your supplements is safer than the other
Yeah.
ones. But there is not 100% safety in the supplements. So taking supplements is always a risk, but is every athlete have the need of taking supplements? Have you done any blood test to see if your health is good? Are you under a supervision of a nutritionist with clean sport education? A physician with clean sport education? Have you followed every guideline that's expected to you to perform before you say, yes, I really need to take a supplement? And still, if you say yes to this, you have some extra box to check. Where are you going to buy? How are you going to keep yourself even with safety about the batch tested and keep yourself with the information about the batch of your supplement? So everything we do in sport and with clean sport, there are several steps to follow. And understanding how to perform it from small steps is very important for you to keep yourself clean and safe and avoid the unintentional doping. Breaking a rule that you didn't mean, you didn't do this intentionally. So we're expecting you, summarize, to check your medications in the reliable source, not with AI. We
No.
expect you, if you have any questions, to go to safe institutions as your international federation, as your NADO, as your physician with clean sport education. We expect you to understand in which rules you're subjected to and why to not perform this accidentally.
Yeah.
So understanding what is expected from you and perform these small steps and have your self-efficacy to perform it yourself, you're going to grow not just as an athlete, but as mainly as an clean athlete. And this is a long path to go. I know it's not easy at all, but today we have some safe resource for you to get in there.
Yeah. For sure, it's a long path. My suggestion for our athletes is start with stud a little bit more about anti-doping. The same way that you see a video on a YouTube channel about blind football or a combat for judo, just to understand and learn more about the sport and your opponent is the same. Watch a video, listen a podcast, try to learn a little bit more about anti-doping. This is going to be the best option for you. You're going to be aware about everything. So study is the best, I think, the best to study. and you know how to use your knowledge the
And
clever way.
study look like a bit more a school thing, but I would say also that we can have a hands-on activity and we
Yeah,
all together we can have fun and we can play,
for
put
sure.
our knowledge in practice and really like checking things, understand how to do it with step by step it's expecting from us because we are all very related to movement. We are athletes and former athletes. We like to move. So if you're playing and you pick your phone and you check together and you're having fun and you have, I don't know, scores or giveaways or this is a really good strategy as well to put our athletes and for you athletes to have your learning, you have your practice and understand how to perform what's expected. So I think it's really good to have these kind of games and hands-on activities for we increase our self-efficacy in doing things that's expected for us to do.
Yeah, athletes must be more independent. They must do for themselves. They must to stop to wait that someone is doing everything for them and put more effort and to be more independent, to look
Mainly
for
because it's their
themselves.
responsibility, right?
Yeah, but especially on the Paralympic movement, unfortunately, we came from a different story and background. And so many of the our national organizations still be very, how can I say the word,
Protective
assistentialist.
and
And
protective. I think this is
with-
a protective a step to try to do things on behalf of the athlete.
yeah,
But
so
that's
now,
the point. In the end of the day, it's still the athlete's responsibility. And of course, we can help them, we can support them, but the consequences are going to be from the athlete itself.
yeah, if you want to be a professional athlete, you need to act, behavior as a professional athlete. So let's go for the last question. How can my coach, my medical team, or family members support me and avoiding unintentional doping? How my environment, our
Encourage
team,
athlete
and
support personnel.
yeah, our
Yes.
entourage can help us to avoid this potential doping.
So the first thing is to learn. We must learn about it. It's everybody's, not just the athlete's responsibility, but everybody's responsibility to learn what's expected from the athletes and what's expected from us. And as I told you in the beginning, we have 11 types of anti-doping rule violations. From these 11, 7, they are subjected to athlete support personnel as well. Medical team, coach, team manager, who is around the athletes, they might have a sanction related to doping as well if we don't behave properly. Of course, we athletes for personnel, they're not going to be tested and having prohibited substances not under to them. But the 7 other behaviors, we cannot have a prohibited substance with us. We cannot have a prohibited association. I mean, to be working with someone that's under a sanction. Understanding all of this and behaving properly is the first thing because you keep yourself clean and you keep yourself safe and you give example to our athletes. And I think giving example is the best thing we can do. First, by learning. Second, by put in practice. Third, by supporting them to do what's expected to them to do. First time we do together, I show you how to do. Second time, show me, you athlete, how you should do. I'm here to support you when you don't know a step. Third, I teach you where to go if you don't know the answer, where to find the right people to help you. And fourth, I would say to be always around, but always reinforcing them to perform what's expected. Example, let's suppose that I'm a medical doctor and I already have all of my graduations, my knowledge about substances and so on. I'm aware of the list, but I am responsible for a team of athletes. What should I do? Instead of just giving them the medicine that I already know that's safe, when I am giving to them, I should ask them, can you please check if you can take this or not? And if the athletes are, I don't know how to do it, let's do together. Pick the athlete's phone with him. He is going to pick his phone, and you show him to go in global draw how to put the name of the substance and to check. And they see that the green flags that we want them to have it before taking. And if there is a right flag, you can explain them. In this particular case scenario, we apply a very TUE, and that's why you can take this. But in other scenario, if the red flag, you cannot take. It's prohibited for you as an athlete. You show them how to do. Second time you do this, please go there. And if they have doubt how to do, where it is, they don't remember, explain to them and do together, support them how to do step by step. And then the third time, or whatever is the time, ask
It's
them,
going to
please check. I want to see you check in front of me. Because if I am the medical doctor from the team, ask first, teaching them, supporting them, and asking them to check in front of me. Doesn't matter who is giving them something. They're going to remember you. It's like my medical doctor, my physician is asking me to check. He taught me how to do it. How can I not check if someone else is going to give me? This is an enforcement, and this is about giving them the self-efficacy they need to keep safe, because the medical doctor, the parents, the coach, they are not going to be 100% the time around. And that's also a trick moment, because they might not thinking twice if can they take something or not, because it's just they're receiving everything, and everything they receive they can take. This is the wrong message we're passing to our athletes. Everything they give me, I can take. No, the message is everything someone is giving to me, I should check. Or better, I should double check, even if I trust the person that's giving to me, because they don't want to hurt me and I don't want to hurt me myself. So I will double check. So, medical doctor, parents, coach, they should learn how to check, and they should support, and every time asking the athletes to check before taking things. That's just one of examples how we should support our athletes and enforce, reinforce, and endorse the skills and the behaviors it's expecting to them to perform. So our responsibility is to supporting them and navigate. Of course, sometimes we can do on behalf of them, but the majority of the time it's our supportive role to reinforce them and how to do, how to perform, because they can increase their self-efficacy, their confidence, and this is going to decrease their anxiety, their tension, their fear about all of these environments that for them is just like doping, hormones, I don't do this, I don't break the rules. And we are going to change their mentality and their understanding about, for you to keep yourself clean, you must put some effort. It's the different thinking about, for you doping yourself, you must put some effort. It's very easy to falling on the traps from the path, because every headache pill, every flu medicine, they might have the prohibited substance, and it's important to check and not rely on your memory. Is not rely on the people around you, because they will support you for sure, but is to check. This is the safest way for us to support our athletes to keep their path safe and avoiding these accidents, these kind of deliberated, non-deliberated actions related to breaking a rule. So we don't want any other athletes crying on courts because they didn't mean to take the prohibited substance. We want them to keep safe, to keep clean, and to have the path in the sport they deserve, and also the health, because if something is prohibited, it's mainly because it can harm the athlete's health. So these are our tips to athletes as they go to the field, for playing sport, and they learn the movements, they learn the rules, they learn the team strategies and behaviors step by step to be really high in sports. We want you to go step by step, small, but increasing your confidence, your learning, and your skills to keep yourself as a clean athlete. That's we wish for you all to keep yourself in a clean path, safe with your health and your sport career.
Yeah, yeah, it's really great. It's nice to remember everyone that we are here to protect the clean athletes. So we are here to protect you that play clean, play fair. Uh, and these are tools that can help you to keep clean, to keep health, to keep safe. So thank you so much. But unfortunately, the time is running out. I want to thank you so much again for your insights, for all your tips. Thais, you're really great educator. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's my pleasure. It's an honorable position to be here speaking with you all. I really expect you that to have like just a small bite of being curious about the clean sport environment and how to perform your skills. And together as a team, we can do it for sure. So let's get in together and let's do it. We can do it.
For sure, we can do it. Together, we go further. I hope that all of you athletes and athlete support personnel found this video here very informative and helpful. We are here every month with a new expert. So let's explain. Waiting for the next month, we have an incredible guest here, Dr. Mohi, with us. Let's keep this conversation going. If you have any question, you know that can reach me out at the International Federation. So just send a mail to me. And thank you very much, Thais, and everybody that's here with us. And remember, the real champion, play clean.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you.
Ciao.